hello everybody. Hi Janet. Good evening, Sahari members. I see there's about 10 people watching. I need to put this vibrate off. 16 people watching. Say hi if you're on. Say hello. 23. How many members do we have in our group? Is it 4,400? Hi Janet, very pleased to listen to you. Shabnam Pelesa Mohammed. I'm so happy that we've connected. Hi Riona, how are you feeling? I hope you're okay. I don't know if the water and electricity is all good in your area. Never a dull moment in our country. Wow, 33 guys. Lovely, lovely. Say hi, say hello. So I know you're here, you're watching, you're tuned in. Hey Hisham. Salam, Shafinas. Guys, I'm going to ask for your assistance during the show as well. So I hope you're able to access maybe on another device some of the comments I'm going to look for, some information I'm going to look for. It's going to be nice and interactive. Hi, Adrian. Riona says, feeling much better. Thanks. I'm so happy to hear that, Riona. When you're ready, I'd love to get you on the live. That would be great. Zaida, hi. Hello. Shenrisha. Janet says 37. I'm not sure what that is. Seema. Hi, Omika. Logan. Kerry Cherry Langley, vocalist, musician. Ruby, Mervyn, Theron. Wayne Woodley, Vernon Pillay. Hi, everybody. Let me find my iPad. Yes, please, Janet. I'm going to rely on you for some information while we're doing this impromptu live. Looking forward to it. Yay. Taryn Wagner, hello. Lloyd Govinsani, journalist. Hello. From Tabloid Newspapers, thank you for tuning in. Doing some fantastic work there at Tabloid. And I've just done a story with Lloyd. Looking forward to that coming out. Novita, Krista, hello. Hello, everybody. Hi, hi, hi. Give it another minute for more people to join us, guys. We'll do about 40 minutes, right? Because I'm utterly exhausted. But I think it's important to have this conversation. Sorry, let me go the other way. Evelyn, Faiza, Seema, Sharon, Jermaine. Hello, everybody. Where is everybody from? I'd love to hear. Let's maybe start off there, guys. Tell me where you're from. I'd love to know. How many from Durban? Are you Joburg? Are you Cape Town? Are you PE? Where are you from in South Africa? I know we have some views that are from other countries. I'm very keen to see how the South African campaign for Ivermectin rollout is going. Yasmin Mohammed, my sister, I hope you're feeling okay. Janet's just tagged 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people to join us. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, tag people so that they can Vanita has just asked to be in the live broadcast, and maybe that's something we can do. I'm thinking of doing more live videos, trying to squeeze it in amongst everything else that needs to happen, and maybe we can do some live videos with some guests. Tell us how you are, how you're feeling, what's happening, how you feel about Ivermectin. Have you taken Ivermectin? Riona is joining us from Maritzburg. Janet's in Cape Town. Kerry's in Durban. Logan, Plettenberg Bay. Vina is there. Vernon is in Dubs. Sharon, UK with family in SA. Jermaine is in Johannesburg. Zahira, hi. Niroshni, hi. Hello, Mehreen. Assalamu alaikum. Riona's tagged 2 people. Tag, go for it. Tag. Pretoria from Venita. Durban. Hillcrest, Shireen. Pam is in Durban, Peter Maritzburg in the house. Joe Grant is there, my friend. Candace Govender, excellent. All right, we're on 91. As soon as it hits 100, we're going to go continue with, I don't know, call it a show, call it a program. It's a Sahari live video tonight on the 5th of January. We're on 97. Navita's in Durban. There's Marshall, Chatsworth, my hometown, Vina. Pretoria East, Krista. Colleen tagging people. See my Durban 99. We're almost at 102. All right, that's it. Excellent. Let's do it. We've got over 100 people, and I think that's brilliant. I see there's some congratulations messages going here. Power to the people. Yes, I agree. Power to the people. There have been some confusing messages. Shafina says, I'm currently in Polokwane, numbers exploding here with the second wave infections and death. What a time to witness. It's apocalyptic, isn't it? It really is. So welcome, everyone. Welcome to the live on the SAHARI page. I wanted to do it on this page instead of my own pages, because this is what our campaign is all about, right? It's all of us together. Zahira, so glad we went all out campaigning for this. Yes, we did. Every single person that's been involved with SAHARI has campaigned really hard. And before we discuss the developments that have happened tonight in terms of SAPRA, and Lorraine says, I let every media contact I know about this page, etc. Every one of you has made a difference. Everyone who shared a petition, shared content, shared scientific content, shared your experience of COVID, your experience taking ivermectin, your thoughts on what should happen, how it should happen. You know, we don't need a nanny government. We're perfectly capable of making decisions for ourselves in partnership or in collaboration with our public servants. So that's great. All right, so let's start here, guys. So this evening, there was a news clip on SABC channel 404, right? And I was alerted to it by one of the medical doctors who's involved in the ivermectin campaign. So the way it's working right now is that there are healthcare professionals who have a campaign going as well. So it's sort of a three-pronged approach as I see it, where the healthcare professionals have a campaign of advocacy, largely based in research. Kubashni says RK Khan's hospital has mortuary vehicles lined up. So sad. It is sad, and that's why we need to keep moving forward. So there's the healthcare professionals strategy, using diplomacy, using research, using expertise, etc. And I think that's brilliant. That's exactly what we need to do. Then there's also the civil society advocacy, which is what SAHARI has been doing, right? Civil society getting together about a cause and finding ways to make that happen. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I think this group has been open for about a week. Can somebody please tell me how many days do we have this group open, SAHARI? That would be great. My sense of time is a little blurred at the moment. We've been working all out together with the brilliant admin team. 6 of us currently. And of course, the third arm of what I see as the strategy is the legal approach. So let's go through a little bit of that. And I see the Telegram group is also fired up as well. 152 viewers, absolutely excellent. But let's talk first about what's happened tonight, because there's such powerful messages coming through from you. Keep fighting, keep moving forward, don't stop. Veena Reddy, yes, exactly. So there was a story tonight on SABC News, channel 404. I was alerted to it by a doctor involved in the medical healthcare strategy of this three-pronged approach as I see it. And I went to go and watch, of course, to see what's this all about. And I watched a 30-second clip of that of this feature by a journalist. I don't know the journalist's name, what his name is, but it's certainly very interesting what happened. And I watched this clip at least 4 or 5 times before I even posted it up on the SAHARI page, as well as my personal profile and my pages, because I wanted to be sure, right? We don't want to get this wrong and get people's hopes up. Joe Grant says, seemed like it's only one long day. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So basically, the report was saying that SAPRA, which is the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority, had initially sorry guys, I'm going to interrupt because there's some comments coming through that I think I need to mention. Ravi Maharaj says, please, how to get the stuff? I'm a nurse at Gray's Hospital. I see people die every day of my life. I'm so tired. I can only imagine how you feel, Ravi. I think all of us are going through such immense trauma right now, such immense trauma, and this should not be happening. It should not be happening. So the story basically talks about, initially there's a clip, there's a voiceover of the SAPRA CEO saying that it's not approved, right? And then it cuts to a voiceover of the journalist saying there's been a change. There's been a difference now. I don't know. Can we, is it possible to play that video? Can someone, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's see if I can get it here. Then I can play it for you and maybe you can tell me what you think. I mean, what did we miss here? Nope, that's not it. Facebook seems to be scrambling the post somehow, so the last post isn't always at first. Can you guys hear this? It says it will now allow it and will tomorrow publish guidelines for how it should be taken. Meanwhile, you heard that, right? Is it possible to play that? That's what was said. So we all get excited and happy. Ivermectin is going to be allowed. Those of us that have been doing the research and doing the campaigning, or are medical professionals who advocate for this drug, we know what we're talking about. I have never advocated for any drug related to COVID-19 until it came to ivermectin, because I've been doing the weeks of research all the way back to April when international doctors were talking about it. But in fact, it goes way before that as well. April last year, that is, right? Obviously. And so now there's this SABC clip which basically says, SAHARI says it's approved and is going to be publishing guidelines. So I put this post up, this video up. It's not me. Listen to the video, right? We put it up. We try and say, right, we're going to do a live video. We're going to talk how we're feeling about this, everyone. Such a relief, how you feeling, etc. But just to be clear, I had fully intended to still say that even if this is true, we have to keep an eye on these guidelines. It's not a matter of, okay, they've approved it, that's it, we can all go back to sleep now or carry on whatever we need to do. We need to keep an eye on these guidelines, and I was going to say that anyway. However, Roshni says, yes, the clip said ivermectin will be allowed. Yes, Roshni, that's exactly what it said. Then, after I posted the video, and I think Karen, I'm not sure what her surname is, was the first post that I saw of a screen grab of SAHARI's Twitter account, where they say, can somebody read it? Does anybody have that that tweet? Does anybody have it? Help me out, guys. See, where is it? Where is it? Right. And there were 2 tweets last time I checked. Here's one. 5 hours ago, it was latest vacancy at SAHARI. And then the screen grab at 45 minutes, maybe after the SABC broadcast, said, your news clip today indicated that SAHARI, I don't know if you can see that, SAHARI will approve, in inverted commas, ivermectin. This is erroneous. It is deceiving the public. SAHARI is reviewing data and will post an updated communication. And then in caps, no approval, right? I think somebody's just put the words up there. Does anyone have that second tweet? The second one talks about going to the press ombudsman, which I thought was so interesting. Yasmin says, yes, the guidelines can be a throw-off. Thanks, Kirsten. There was a second one where SAHARI basically said to the SABC to correct or retract their entire feature, or that part of their feature where they said SAHARI had approved it and guidelines were going to be published. And I specifically remember this part of that tweet where it said basically retract or I am going to go to the press ombudsman. So whoever is sitting behind that account is speaking in the I, not SAHARI will go to the press ombudsman, I will go to the press ombudsman. So I'm not sure who's handling that account. I think that's certainly quite interesting there. Speedy Kenny Naika says, they're looking for loopholes. Please don't stop. This is great help for the people of South Africa. We must keep pushing forward for it. Absolutely. Kubashni says, they advise if the post is not taken off, they will proceed to the ombudsman. Yep, that's exactly what they said. I will proceed to the ombudsman. Not we, not SAHARI. Basically, the arrogant person said retract or they will report to press ombudsman. Cyril Palani says, we need more doctors to come on board. I absolutely agree with you. Cyril, you're very connected in that area. I know there are doctors under immense pressure. They're under threat. They are under threat. Today, Subhashini Govinda from the Sunday Times is looking for a story of doctors that are doing this assistance and people who are dispensing it out of, trying to serve the people, and as well as people who are taking ivermectin. And you could stay anonymous if you wanted to, but doctors are terrified to speak because there's a witch hunt going on, right? It's crazy. Fadil says, is it possible the journalist voiceover in the clip jumped the gun or got it mixed up? You see, that's a very good question. I'm going to come back to it. Riona says, all this does is raise more curiosity from the public. Absolutely. More questions need to be asked. Communications with both parties not in order. Interesting times ahead. Lorraine says, censorship of the SABC. Pretty sure somebody must have put a call through to stop us. Shabnam, we need to canvass more specialists. I agree with you, Cyril. And more updates on that will be coming. Joe says, Sapra now fueling the fire under their own feet. We must keep their feet to the coals. And I see Novita has tagged some people. We're up to 209 people. All right. So back to Fadil's question. Is it possible that they got it mixed up? Now, I find that hard to believe, right? I do find that hard to. And I'll tell you why. Zahira says everything's about egos. People's lives need to be treated like they're more important. Kerry says, might be a good thing that they're late with the vax rollout. So this will buy us some time to push. There will be a gap for urgency to curb the speed. Zainoon says, definitely a delay tactic. They're probably trying to deter all the legal initiatives against them. What excuse can they give to the public, who is the core of the country? Tanya Stain, I bought 6 doses today from a very brave pharmacist. Can we just applaud, please, guys? Can we applaud? If you can, do a like, do a love, do a like or do a love. Because if you do a clap on the comments, I'm going to lose all the comments. Do a like or do a love across the screen for all of the doctors and the pharmacists and the healthcare workers in general, and everyone that's trying to save lives using ivermectin. Can we do that? Can we do likes and loves for them? Because that takes immense courage, knowing that you could be prosecuted for that, right? That is immense courage, because they're at the front line and they know what's going on. I hosted a show maybe 2 weeks back for Hope for Health, and listened to what these healthcare workers are absolutely telling us, and it was harrowing. It was painful, absolutely painful to know that's what our frontline workers are actually going through. But of course, it's just as painful for us as civil society, losing our loved ones, right? Passing away, sometimes completely unexpectedly or often. If they recover, it's a long recovery. Incomes being lost, businesses are being closed, jobs have been lost. I mean, journalists, Yasmin says that journalists can lose his job. They're not allowed to give false information on national news. And that's a good point, right? So clearly, the journalist is going to have to, or SABC is going to have to issue a statement. It's not a simple matter of just deleting the video. We need a statement as to what happened there. If SABC, there's the principle in the law, let both sides be heard. Let's hear what the journalists have to say. I think that's really important. Mohammed Bilal Dawood, Dr. Farida from Lenmed Shifa Hospital has advocated for ivermectin to be used for COVID patients. Yes, we saw that article today on SABC News. I must say, there are some media platforms that are really stepping up. Local GP, Cyril says, has used it following Dr. Farida Ahmad's guidelines and has yielded good results in 48 hours. Experiential evidence, guys. Experiential evidence. Shah Mohammed, please expedite the process and allow ivermectin to be given people to be healed. Fiona Brooks says, farmers have been taking it on the quiet for months, and the UK Daily Mail advised that it unfortunately have been used for years definitely been used for years by the National Health, and the US has also advised that they've been using it. And of course, we know it's being used around the world. We know this. And there's a question of side effects, and I wanna pick up on that in a sec, because it seems to be the only two things come up. It's not proven yet. What are the side effects? Asya Dirat Muhammad, I personally know a family who survived COVID because they took ivermectin. They got their doses by a specialist. Bravo to this doctor. Shah Muhammad, I applaud all the health workers for their dedication in treating patients who have COVID. You've been family and friend to the sick. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this battle between SAPRA and the SABC. And I spoke to a medical professional about what's going on here. And I shared that professional's view on what happened. I think that SAPRA wasn't ready for the announcement to be made. There is no way that they can continue saying that it's illegal. In fact, legality is another thing, right? Because anything that's illegal has to be in terms of a law. I didn't see any law published. Has anybody seen a law published? I mean, I think that's a good question in terms of the law. Is there a law that was published that said ivermectin is illegal? And what are the specific terms of that? Dr. Martin Gill, what a hero. One of my favorite people, has been batting for ivermectin. I mean, I've been actually using it from the start of the pandemic. Denzel Ford. Problem I find is that government cannot approve something where they cannot make money off it, where the party in charge cannot get a cut off, etc. Yeah, but it's also corporate greed, right? It's corporate greed. Kirsten, I am applauding you too, my brother. Fiona, I think our government is actually quite content by their behavior, that they won't mind if the elderly lose their lives, as they will not have a whole lot of pension monthly. Wow. Riona, WHO has ivermectin listed as one of essential medications. Repurposing of this medication makes complete sense, especially with all the research and the data already available. Right, Omika, there's a question coming up about side effects again. Right. Let's see if there's anything else. SAPRA's got till tomorrow to respond to the NFP letter. Right, there was a NFP news link. I was going to read it, but I lost the link in between all of the flurry. But yeah, NFP is going to court, and I've been communicating with the attorney that's acting for the NFP, and let me tell you, she's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So that's happening. There was a response received to their emission letter, which we had posted on the SAHARI page, and I would describe it as disingenuous, disrespectful, and cowardly. That's how I would describe their response to the first letter that was sent by the NFP's legal representative, Prabhashni. More tagging going on. Hilda's giving it to her 81-year-old mom tomorrow. The question is, what does the government do with the millions they paid for the vaccine if ivermectin works? Mr. Isa, hold that question for me. I want to talk about side effects. So that's obviously we've got to talk about that, right? Gosh, you guys are so clued up. Okay, side effects, ivermectin, do the research. There's either completely no side effects or the side effects are very, very mild. Watch Dr. Martin Gill, watch Dr. Corey, watch Dr. Barodi. Go and see what it is that they're saying. Barodi is the first guy to have experimented and successfully with ivermectin in Australia. Dr. Corey and his team have developed protocols and how it is to be used. And of course, Dr. Paul Marek is a former South African who has developed the eye mask protocol. Right? Former South African, and stands by it 100%. So in terms of side effects, little to none. If you have side effects like maybe headaches, dizziness, maybe a little bit of a sore tummy, it's because the parasites are dying. It's not as a result of the parasites that are dying. And that's extensive, conclusive across all of the specialists. And that would make sense, right? Some of us maybe never been dewormed in our lives. So, maybe that could be a little bit of a challenge, but certainly worth the preventative and therapeutic. It prevents and it is therapy once you have. Of course, you need to understand how to take the medicine. You need to understand if you're taking other medication, how will it interact with the ivermectin. So all of these things are important. The research is important. Getting the correct advice from medical professionals is important in terms of the design of the treatment, the duration, the dosage, all of that really important. If you're taking certain medications like blood thinning medications, etc., how might that affect it? All of this is important. But ivermectin, according to the WHO, is one of the safest medicines known in the world. It's ranked up there, and we've been singing the song with aspirin and penicillin, right? Nobel Prize winning drug that's been used extensively around the world and in Africa in particular. So there is so much evidence that I'm not going to go through the evidence side of things. I think we'll do another show on that where we talk about the evidence on the SAHARI page. What does the evidence say? So you guys can prepare in the meanwhile. But people know what's going on. And it is a global campaign. Watch what's happening overseas. You're going to see this escalate. The momentum is going to grow because people are demanding the right to ivermectin. And as far as side effects go, I mean, I've taken other medications that have given me horrific side effects, only to go back and read about that medication to see why that medication should actually be banned. Why was it made legal in the first place? The doctors sometimes won't tell you this. Some doctors won't tell you this, Why is another question. I don't know. But those drugs are registered by the FDA, by SAPRA, etc. Yet ivermectin is not. Ivermectin is effective, it's quick acting, it's safe, and it's cheap. $10, guys. Cyril says, in terms of emergency use authorization, there is a legal framework for use. Yes, of course it is. Shah Muhammad, if ivermectin can heal, why the delay or the red tape? Manuel Governor, class action suit needed. Yes, that's one of the strategies that Sahari is using, a class action suit. So we are busy preparing towards that. Sanjay saying, locate the list of approved medications signed by Dr. Aaron Mossaleri in 2015. It's a 508-page document. Ivermectin is approved in the document. Sanjay, please can you post that document, or instead of a 508-page document, please can you screen grab that page where ivermectin is approved? Please. This is really important that you do that, Sanjay. Really important. Please post it on the page tonight if you can. Roshini says, Dr. Gill stated there are no side effects. The person's exempt from taking it are pregnant mothers and lactating mothers, as well as children under the age of 12 or under the weight of 15 kilograms. Riona Mahabi and I took ivermectin after testing positive on the 20th of December, and the very next day we felt 80% better. This is before SAPRA placed a ban on the medication. Lorraine replies to Sanjay, locate the list of approved medications signed. Right. This is something to follow up. Agreed. Rania Naidu, can diabetes people take it? Yeah, all under medical supervision, absolutely, with the correct guidelines. I'm not a medical professional. I can't tell you that. But I think this question was asked of Dr. Gill before. If somebody's watched that video and remembers exactly what he said or what the research says, but all medications, it's got to be the right advice and the right monitoring from a legal professional, a health professional. I think that's really important. Hildegard says, mild upset stomach. Riona says, open the inserts of many medications. You will find that most, if not all, have side effects. Yeah, absolutely. Nishar, what would the dosage be? Do you use animal per kg dose? Not qualified to say so I can't answer that question, my brother. I am that you're doing this. I'm not doing it. We're doing it. And I can't tell you how much of motivation that gives me to see us as civil society being activists, because that's what we are, right? And that's what keeps us going. It keeps our entire admin team going, working around the clock. And I want to shout out to them at this point. We've got Joe Grant, we've got Conrad Raman, we've got Renee Advocat, we've got Aisha Abdul Karim, and we've got Bertram Peters, and we've got Bianca as well. Brilliant admin team. Hildegard says we haven't had any side effects. Side effects are minimal, nothing to worry about. Besides, your life is more important. Denzel Ford, my other issue is that money has been lost because nobody has mentioned with that 500 billion has gone. How come all of a sudden we don't know if we can afford to give it to every patient? Right? Nanda Subin, political cartoonist, says the delay is manslaughter. I lost too many friends in the last few weeks. One of my best friends, actually, his girlfriend passed away yesterday, and It's part of the reason that I said, you know, we need to campaign, we need to form Sahari, we need to campaign, is because I can't deal with the loss anymore, right? None of us can. It's traumatic every day. It's dealing with PTSD and mental trauma. Even if you don't know the person personally, it is still painful to see the pain that other people are experiencing. I'm going to come back to that question just now about there was a question about the vaccines. Ooh, guys, the comments, I'm trying to keep up here. We've got 254. There was a question about the vaccines. Does anyone remember what it was exactly? I said I was going to note it. It was a specific question about the vaccines. I don't know how did we have the money or not for the vaccines? Was it that? Or was it a question about, well, if we get ivermectin, then, you know, they might say, do we need the vaccines? I'm not sure. Somebody remind me what the question was. I think that's a really important one. And I really want to come back to it. Of course, the money being lost. The money being lost. Omika said, if you have comorbidities, it's safest to discuss the same with your doctor or healthcare professional. This applies to any drug. Veena Reddy, do you think that SABC jumped the gun? SAPRA wanted to break the news first, hence they're backstepping. That could well be it. That could well be it. I'll tell you what. If SAPRA approves, as they must, as they should, and as they will, we'll applaud them for making the right decision. But we'll keep an eye on them to make sure that that decision is implemented properly. And not just on SAPRA, but on people who are trying to make a killing of selling ivermectin at ridiculous prices. What sort of prices have you seen? You see, they've driven ivermectin underground. So what's going to happen is desperate or unscrupulous people are going to try and sell it at ridiculous prices. And I'm seeing some ridiculous prices being posted around, and we're going to make sure that that actually doesn't happen. Even once it's approved, we've still got a job to do. There's education that needs to happen. There's monitoring that needs to happen. All of that. Let's see any other comments here. Yeah, it's a 30-year-old medication, right? It's a fascinating story. We need that 508 page number 508, I don't know, where it was approved before they get rid of it. Sanjay, I hope you've got that document. If not, we'll have to do a promotion of access to information application for that particular document. And Kimmy has a question. Prescribed to those who are positive, should not be used for maintenance, etc., etc. Lots of research on the page. Kimmy, go and have a look. All right, guys. If you have a really important question or comment and I miss it, please just post it again. Yes, Sanjay, ivermectin was used by the WHO to eradicate the parasitic pandemic in the 80s that struck parts of South America and North Africa, something like sight or blindness disease. Quite correct. Rania says it's actually very expensive now. It's going for 400 Rand for 2 tablets. Wow. I saw 7,000 somewhere. I'm pretty sure I saw that 7,000 somewhere. One farmer I know cured 70 of his workers. Manufacturers won't promote it because they won't make money. Well, that's the thing, right? Does this drug have any signs of penicillin in it? Not to my knowledge, but do the research. I think penicillin is a completely different drug. I can't tell you where to get it. Children, etc., etc. So lots of tagging going on. This is civil society in action. Well done all. Yes, yes, and yes, Naresh Sarup. I absolutely agree with you. You don't need to thank us. You guys are the heroes here. Manuel Govender, you know, I think I appreciate the comment, my brother, but I really, truly believe it's all of us. And I'll tell you why in a sec. I wish I had someone to just read the comments out here. That would make it so much easier. Has helped a dialysis patient. Hisham, we must guard against complacency at all costs. Corporate greed is a default reality in our world, and if there's an agenda-specific goal implicit, then we need to brace ourselves. If your comment is long, I'm not clicking on the more part because I might lose all of the other comments. The vaccines are untested. Ivermectin is not. Tanya Stain. Nobody's been accountable for the 500 million. Oh, we haven't forgotten about that. By the way, I remembered that in July, samples of the virus were stolen from a van that was hijacked in the Eastern Cape. I didn't see any follow-up investigation after that. Black market prices are like 3,000 Rand. That's what happens when you go and make a life-saving drug that people need illegal. And if people could not seek medical advice because they were too afraid, but they just took it, and if they're harmed as a result, maybe they're taking some other medication that has some interaction that, then whose fault is that? Certainly not the fault of the people who are desperate. Fiona Brooke Leggett, I discussed it with myself, taking it to one of the top cardiologists in the country, and he said prevention is better than cure. Private hospital says there's no beds available, Gary Govindsamy. Just go and buy the beds. You charge medical aid millions besides the extras you charge with, which the patients have to make in cash. Ooh, 700 Rand, 6 tabs for 1.5. 1.5 for 1 tablet. And is it even the real thing? I mean, how do you know? How do you know if you're buying the tablet? Is the tablet marked Ivermectin? I don't know. I'm so relieved with this new Sarah Munsami, my sister. Let's just update you again. So SABC did a story that said it was approved and guidelines will be published tomorrow. SAPRA then came back and said the story is wrong. Retract your story or we're taking you to the press ombudsman. We, however, are not dissuaded by this at all because it is only a matter of time. But having said that, the NFP is going to court. I think it's tomorrow, guys. So no one's letting the pressure up. In fact, government wants to reduce our population. Okay, lots and lots of comments and questions. If I miss any, I'll try and go back, but I'm really tired as well. So, the money for the UIF payments. Another story. Yes, Nathan, if SAPRA approves this, then South Africa should distribute at no cost to the public since it's an inexpensive drug. This number would be much less than the cost to South Africa for the vaccine. Of course, yes, it is less than 25%, and there are at least 5 to 6 countries that are manufacturing it. And of course, we can manufacture it here. There's no patent, it's generic. I don't see why not. Why wouldn't we take the opportunity? Why would we wait for something else that may or may not work? I mean, that's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. Somebody's going to fake this and put it on the black market. Yeah, Farmers have been using it and reporting no cases. Lots and lots of comments here. Okay, so I'm going to stop with the comments for a little bit. But if I miss something important, please post it again, right? How did you feel? I mean, I think that's an important question tonight. How did you feel when you first heard it's approved? And then you heard, well, there's a confusion going on. It's actually not approved. And now there's threats to take the journalist to the press ombudsman. Where would he have got the word guidelines from? I mean, I don't know. But I'd love to know how you feel about that, because it's certainly a roller coaster of emotions. We just have to stay resilient, right? That's what we need to do. Now, when demand exceeds supply, that's what's going to happen. People are going to push it up. And I agree it should be free. In fact, it's even in the petition, guys. The petition, we passed the 10,000 mark on the petition. And I think that's people power. That's the voice of the people. That's the people shall govern, which is what the Freedom Charter actually says. Can we do some hearts and likes and whatever across the screen for having crossed the 10,000 mark of signatures on the campaign for Ivermectin? I know everybody on this live has probably signed it already. If you haven't, please sign and share. It's important. Regardless of what happened tonight, the momentum needs to continue. So for those of you who are asking what can you do, that's one of the actions you can take. So many of you have skills that we've started to work together, partner people up, organize in groups who can do research, who can work on the documentary. Guys, you're working on a documentary as well. So it's going to be featuring people who've taken ivermectin and telling their story of how it's impacted on them, and perhaps even some medical professionals who are able to talk about it. We need to do that. So if you're willing, we need to know, are you willing to feature in the documentary? Have you taken ivermectin? Are you willing to be in the documentary? The easiest way to do it, we don't have a budget for someone to fly around the country, is for you to do like a 1-minute video. So sit down with a piece of paper, maybe just plan a few points of what it is you want to say. What was your experience like being sick? Or maybe you took it as a preventative because you were afraid. What was the impact of ivermectin on you? And what is your message to the authorities? That's it. Your experience of being ill, the impact of ivermectin on you, and what is your message to the authorities? I think that's really important. We should manufacture it ourselves. I agree with you. Why wouldn't we take this opportunity? Right. I'm going to miss a lot of comments here, guys, unfortunately. But I want to go back to a couple of things, and I can only go on for another 10 minutes. Definitely not longer than an hour. Right. So we spoke about what happened with SABC, the subsequent retraction from SAPRA, what this now means, how we felt about it, the trauma that we're experiencing every day. Every day. I mean, you open up Facebook and it's just rest in peace, rest in power, entire families being wiped out, And yet, yes, a treatment that we could have been taking from April at least, May at least, And actually, I think that this campaign is as important as the campaign for ARVs. I don't know if you agree. The campaign for ARV is one of the biggest campaigns in our country as treatment for HIV. And for me, this campaign for ivermectin is as big as the campaign for ARVs. If you agree, please comment. I mean, I think that comparison is not unrealistic. I think it's exactly on point. Zahira, let's be bold. What do you guys believe is the real reason behind the ban? Why let people get better when it's more feasible to have more deaths, more fear-mongering, harder lockdown, civil unrest, martial law, police state? Gary Govindsamy, excellent work in the petition, is also mobilized to support the other organizations taking up the matter to court. Absolutely. Like I said, I have been liaising with the attorney that's involved with the NFP, doing some sterling work there. Internationally, doctors have been using ivermectin for more than 30 years. Thanks, Gary. Kubeshni, I had such a sense of relief knowing there was a drug that could remove the risk or part of the risk of threat of my life or my loved ones. Was disappointed when I saw it was not really approved. This campaign, it's big, it's on point. People have recovered, slight headaches. I've been researching this since I found your page. It's my body. I want the right to choose my therapy. Lorraine Robertson from Skulkweg. Right? It's your body. You have a sovereign right to decide. Especially with a medication like ivermectin, where the WHO says it's one of the safest. Speaking of the WHO, they had commissioned Dr. Andrew Hill to do analysis and scientific report on ivermectin, and his preliminary report says that this medication is transformative. Transformative. If you watch the video interview with him, you'll see he goes through all of the stats, etc. Right. I'm going to start rounding up, guys. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Maybe we can do another live tomorrow. I think 8 o'clock's a good time. Does 8 o'clock work for everybody? I think it does. 8 to 9. Unless I'm caught up in something urgent, let me know. Overwhelming evidence includes a 41-page summary that was a 41-page representation written by the Ivermectin interest group. Now, the information and the data that SAPRA is reviewing currently, 8 p.m. is perfect, is largely based on this 41-page representation by the Ivermectin interest group. Kubeshni Reddy, why do they need to do trials and research on a drug in South Africa when the research and trials have already been done in other parts of the world? And because the evidence speaks for itself, right? The ANC wants to build their own state-owned pharmaceutical company. If local companies can make generic ARVs, surely they can make ivermectin. Cyril Pelani. Ominaya government is scared, anti-Omi, to unban it because they are scared of a class suit against them. Well, that's going to happen anyway. It's going to happen anyway. So, Tanya Stain, I'll interview my brother. Thank you. He was better within 48 hours from near death and he thought he was bulletproof. Be careful about the protocols. You need to take supplementary medicines, etc. When the khokhas come out. Rashida Rycliffe, 8 o'clock works. 8 is perfect. Thank you, Speedy. You must keep safe. Fiona Brooke says, Legat. I hope I'm saying your surname correctly. Legat. You must keep safe. You exposing this means a lot of important people will lose a lot of money due to the dishonesty and corruption in the country. Keep safe. I appreciate your care and concern, but I am one amongst hundreds of thousands of people around the world advocating for ivermectin. I am. And we can't keep silent. That Martin Luther King said, silence is betrayal, silence is consent. What do we have to lose by trying ivermectin? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Zainun, ivermectin for human consumption is banned. Surely regulatory authorities know that in the absence, people have resorted to ivermectin for veterinary use. Are they fine with that rather? Lorraine, agreement that this is an important campaign. This is the first civil effort to stand against government's incompetent handling of the crisis. 8 p.m. is good. Michelle, Pubalan, Guria, I've seen medical expert videos from other countries. It's working. And we shouldn't be deprived of this. I mean, these experts are gold standard. Keep the momentum going. Yep, we intend to do that. I've come to the end of the comments for now. Keep moving forward. Okay, so what have we achieved as Sahari in the week, I think, that we've been running? We've got a group, probably about 4,500 members now, but guys, Facebook is heavily censoring us. Admin team is working super hard, thinking on our feet. You know, how do we keep the group safe and secure from agents and spies and trolls? And at the same time, give people access to what it is that they need to know. Archbishop Tutu, silence is complicity. Yeah, absolutely. Asif Ahmad, we need more doctors to come out and give their experience. Radia Didat, I used it, I got better so quickly. No side effects. You know, I would imagine having parasites and worms in our bodies is not healthy. Profit is the priority, says Kirsten Pillay. So what have we achieved? We've got a group probably around 4,500 by now. It should be, according to our admin team, at least 6,000 or 7,000 by now. But Facebook is doing heavy censorship and shadow banning and all sorts of things. So we accept like hundreds at a time sometimes just to let people in. And the numbers don't add up from where they were to the numbers that we let in. So that is definitely happening. Kabashni, I love what you're doing, and I will assist in every way to campaign for ivermectin. Thank you for this Facebook page. Thank you, activist. Fiona, I know, but our government is stealing what they have. They have no moral compass, and we have very little law and order. Violence means nothing to evil, dishonest people. Please keep safe, although we must all be. I'm going to be grateful for people like you who are not afraid. Yeah, I mean, I've got my own personal stories, which I'm not going to get into now, about overcoming life-threatening illness, etc. And I think you realize when you go through it what's really important, and this is important. And I have a ton of other things I need to do. I wear a couple of hats, but I don't have a choice. It's a matter of conscience. Pam Thompson, if we don't ask the question, the answer will always be no. We need to question everything in order to get to the truth. That's just it. People who are normally robust and question government and everything, now anything government says, no questions asked. People are afraid to ask the questions. Have you experienced that? Have you noticed when you ask the questions, especially initially in March, asking questions was thought of as being unpatriotic to your country? That's the kind of propaganda we were being fed. Dental Ford, admin needs to have a look at the rules of admin. Send me an email, we'll forward it. It does not go against community standards. They're closing a lot of groups for this very reason. Yeah, that we know. Legal, approved, whatever you want to call it. Is Facebook still going to censor any group that talks about ivermectin? Where do they get their instructions from? Is it a country by country basis? So say Macedonia, which I believe has just approved and is rolling it out, or India, for example, are they allowed to talk about it, ivermectin? Or is it everybody? And why? Censorship is like burning books. We've got to resort to making up words, and now I've been saying IVM instead of the entire word. It's ridiculous. We have the right to freedom of expression. Umita Govender, when the whole world is silent, even one voice becomes powerful. Ominaya, Auntie Omi, power to the people. There's power in numbers. Auntie Omi's been on the ground doing the community work that's necessary. Tanya says your hat fits perfectly. When you question things, you become the problem. Yeah, you're not allowed to question anything. I don't know what's happened. I don't know what's happened, because ordinarily South Africans question everything. Right, come to the end of the comments there. Melisha, Randy, Aboy, Shabnam, this group gives so much of hope. I've looked through all the videos and wow, this has been quiet. Thank you for this. We've lost too many. We've lost so many people. So many people. Lee Naidu, time to stand up. Keep up the good work. All right, last couple of points. I just put about 12 points that I want to talk about just to give us a sort of a framework, and of course it all builds in there. Speedy Kenny Nika, government controls a lot of media. That's the biggest problem. Of course. Well, there's a lot of excellent media in our country. We have excellent journalists in our country, without whom we would not have achieved political freedom. We don't have socioeconomic freedom, political freedom, and who have continued to work tirelessly since then. But certainly, I think, the way the narrative was, if you're loyal to your country, we're facing a pandemic, then this is the script that you've got to follow. But I think people are seeing through that now. Lorraine Robertson again, what happened to the constitutional right to freedom of expression? You cannot apply US media censorship in South Africa. That's a really good point. I mean, it is their platform, but it is our country. Right? Maybe. Yeah, Facebook has been called into hearings before. If we don't question, become puppet Speedy. Absolutely, I agree. Kirsten Pillay, okay, let's face the reality. What is the way forward should we not win this battle? Well, we've got a group. We've achieved that. It's growing. We've got a petition that's over 10,000 people, and that's going to be attached to legal applications as well, that are going to show just how many people in our country are saying, we want ivermectin. We want it. And you cannot make that decision for us. And if you need to have a one-day commission of inquiry, because we certainly don't have any time to waste, and you invite public participation to that commission, we'll have to do it obviously electronically, and most of the poorest people of our country will not be able to join that conversation because they don't have access to the technology, or they don't have access to data. Big problem. But do that. Hold a public participation process for a day and see what people have to say. You know, if you're not willing to listen to the experts, the scientists and the doctors, listen to what the people are saying, the ones who are taking the ivermectin, the ones who are desperate for the ivermectin, plus zinc. Manuel Governor, there's no way we're not going to win this battle. If it means taking it to the streets, etc., we will. Now, that we can't do because we're under lockdown, etc. But I did do a poster up earlier. And Facebook is doing some weird things with our posts. But here's an idea, something you can do, is make a poster. So find a cardboard, a piece of paper, poster paper, you know. Even if you've got just black marker, it's fine. If you want to be more creative and use colors or whatever, go ahead and do that. But on the poster, put a message about ivermectin there. That's the first thing. Put a message there. Second thing, take a photograph of you holding it up, your family holding it up, alone, together. And the third step, post it in the SAHARI group. There's a specific post for that if you post under there, then we'll get to see everybody's photographs. And then share it everywhere, right? It's a virtual protest. We need to do that. Certainly we know how to make posters, right? So let's do that. Make it a project at home. Let's get it done. Remember to use the hashtags ivermectin4SA and South Africa. So anyone seeing it around the world knows exactly what this is all about. Tanya, stay in the poorest people have no idea. Ominaya, we've created an awareness, and that is victory in itself. 8:56. I cannot do more than an hour. That's it. I think that's everything that I wanted to talk through. Is there anything we've missed? Anything we're not clear about in terms of direction? And once we win on this, there's going to be another cause that we need to advocate for. There will, and we'll do it. Stacey Tangni V. De Vault, I love the poster idea in capital. She goes, yes. Okay, Stacey, I'm going to wait for your poster first. Search the group for the word poster, and you should come up with the post where I said, right, let's do this. Let's campaign in this way. It's a virtual protest. And put it up. Make your poster. Do a photograph with you, your family, your friends, your co-workers holding up the poster. Post it to that post. If it's all over the place, you might miss it. You can share it everywhere else, but we need it in one focus place as well. And then share it everywhere else after that. Share it on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, Telegram, email. Right. And then last question, can I ask before you guys leave? Or maybe we can pick up, give it some thought tonight. We need an alternative. We need a frame. Lorraine, can someone design a profile frame that we can put up on our Facebook profile picture? Yes. That's a very good idea, and we shall certainly do that. Please remind me tomorrow in case we forget. I know we've got some graphic designers, etc. on the page. And of course, I manage an art center, which is also great. Right. Question is this. We need to move or have an alternative to Facebook in case they close us down, right? Fascist book. So do you prefer MeWe? Do you prefer Parler? We've got a young man, a fourth year law student, researching that tonight. The pros and cons, MeWe, Parler, and Jitsi, I think is the other one. And the three criteria: censorship. Is it censorship? Is it user-friendly? And how many people are on that platform? So give it some thought. Or you can just mention now, you've got experience with those platforms. I actually don't. But we need an alternative. That's certainly. Yes, we've got a Telegram group as well. So join that as well. Really important. And that's it. 8:59. Denzel, for sketch an idea and give me an idea of what you want for the poster for the group. Are you thinking of doing one digital poster? Basically, you want people to do their own posters, Denzel. I think there's like an ownership in that. So you make your own poster about your message about ivermectin, and you add the hashtags, you take a photo with it, and you put it up on that post on the SAHARI page or anywhere else after that, and then everywhere else after that. So it's a virtual protest. Remember to use the hashtags. Alternative Parler, Pam Thompson says Parler. Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot. Parler. I need to go check it out, guys. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I see we kept up to 200 people, 203 people. Excellent tonight. Thank you for joining us. It was necessary to do this live video. And thank you for your commitment to making our country and our world a better place. We shall overcome, and power to the people. Just remember that. Take care. Take lots of care. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Stay focused. Stay committed. Revolutionary peace. Good night. Bye.